Welcome to the consciousness of the way. My co-host, the divine delectable Jade. Howdy doody.
Howdy doody.
And I'm your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master San Quinn, and what a magnificent, magical day today is.
Mm-hmm.
Always a new horizon, always another moment, another miracle, being in the present.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We all had a fantastic 4th of July,
Yeah.
celebrating this most incredible country that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Still, in my opinion, the most magical place to live.
Yeah, I mean, you have a different perspective than most people because you've lived in multiple places outside of the country. So you have a much kind of better understanding than, say, someone. I've traveled, but never like actually lived in the different environments.
Excuse me. Yeah, so, there's no place on earth like America. It's amazing, and I'm very grateful that I get to enjoy it every day.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's just good too to take a moment and be grateful for things that you don't normally just think about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just like living in this country, that doesn't pass people's minds.
Right.
Maybe more than once a year.
Right, and you get into the wonderful, magical understanding of gratitude and what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Being grateful. It's not contrived by someone's, virtue signaling interpretation of how reality is supposed to be. For them, perhaps. But, you don't have to conjure up that feeling. Mm-hmm. It's just present when you experience it.
You just feel it.
Yeah, yeah. Which kind of gets us to the point of today, which we're sort of dipping into the magical understanding of words and, symbols, and how the human body is this, alchemist's magical tool for manifestation. And, how the human body is integrated into your weaving and cultivating and creating the type of magic that you want to craft your reality however you want. And that starts from a basic understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So, we talk about linguistics, we talk about words, we talk about neurology, we talk about the integration of the human being and its relationship with the universe. And then we talk about how that is really a simulation. And once you come to that place of awareness, which is just a shift of consciousness, that you are the universe, you are the field, you are one with everything. You are everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always funny. People are always like, oh, if I had the cure to cancer, it would be priceless. Someone would pay me any sum of money I wanted. And I mean, that could be true. But I always think just understanding how the human body works,
right,
in my opinion, is truly priceless.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the cure to everything. Because,
well, yeah,
I mean, we're still, with everything we know, so limited to how we fully understand on every single aspect. It really is infinite. Just what the human body can do and does,
right,
and how much we even fully understand of that.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, how it's an instrument for Taoists is, you know, when you have embodied and realized that you are the universe is you. You have this heightened sense of awareness, this consciousness that is up and beyond anything you've experienced before. Mm-hmm. So here we have this holy moly. I am you, you are me. The universe is inside me. I am the universe is inside me, the universe is outside of me. Take a deep breath. And, you know, this goes even deeper, you know, when we talk about the different subsections of the Taoist magic and how that's integrated into the rippling effects of your own manifestation within the field that is you. And that conscious shift from, you know, third, fourth, fifth dimension is, you know, a heightened sense of awareness. I mean, I might do this in the future, but, you know, it's kind of like what's really tangible and something that I can explain in great detail is witnessing the cellular transformation of you know, the human body before your very eyes. Whatever healing you can imagine, I've seen it with these eyes. And so, you know, you're like, okay, well, this would be a fifth dimensional manifestation, the ability to transmute things at will, you know, void of time and space. Yeah, that's a consciousness. Mm-hmm. So how do you do that operating in a third dimension, like right here? Well, it's an understanding, because it's all consciousness, that all is one, one is all, and that we are operating on this fact that this is it. So to step from three-dimensional reality to a five-dimensional transformation, transmuting that, is a shift of consciousness, 2 clicks. It's like accepting it to be so. But it's not just saying it or accepting it in your mind. It's understanding the shift in the transmutability that comes with it. Because I can explain it in great detail, Jay can explain it in great detail. Until you experience it, or you bear witness to something that I will show you in the future, it's very hard to create a tangible idea of what that is. You yearn to desire the understanding of the magnitude of it. It's ingrained in your neurology. It's ingrained in your DNA. The linguistics is implanted. The symbols, the letters, the numerology is all in your DNA. You are not gravitating to word symbols and numbers because you've got nothing better to do. This is the pure essence of who you really are. That's why it's any ancient text that you fall upon, whatever it is, it's layered upon layered upon layered with the symbols, the words, the numbers, and they all have their own relevance. And you will know intuitively when you stumble across the sequence that is resonating with your frequency, it will sing to you like a bird. Mm-hmm. And there's no denying it. It's undeniable. It's irrefutable. Mm-hmm. And so you'll pick up a text, you'll pick up a story, music, letters, numbers, and it will sing to you like you've never had it sing to you before. It will give you a supercharge that is second to none, that will ripple through every cell in your body. And you know, I'm home. This is familiar. This incarnation right now, this reincarnation, where I am right now in my own cycle, my own journey of awareness, my consciousness level has just ranked up 10 notches because this is true to me. Yeah.
It's like, I feel like it happens to a lot of people too in these kind of like, I don't want to say like freak accidents but it's like a do or die situation. Mm-hmm. Where like you have the mom whose like kid is trapped under the car and mm-hmm. she like, you know, 125 pounds is lifting up a car, or like you know, the fireman who's like, someone's in the house, I gotta go get them, or I gotta go save them. And if you sat and like,
I mean, look at where she's going, ladies and gentlemen. She's in tune with the experience, and she's literally emoting it right here on camera.
That's my pregnancy hormones.
Well, no, you're just in tuning yourself with the energy and the frequency, the vibration of what you're speaking of, and that's why it's so powerful.
But it's like you get put in those situations. We always talk about like you're not thinking about it.
Right.
You're just doing it.
Right.
And if someone in retrospect replayed that situation and said, what were you thinking? Or like, how did you do it? In their mind, they'd be like, I never thought I could do it. But when you're in that kind of split second decision of whether it's a mother saving their kids or somebody saving somebody's life, your instinct just kicks in, and that human limitlessness comes out. And then you're like, now how do I get back there? How do I do it at will now?
Right. And that at will, attention, intention, manifestation, transmutation, realization is right here, right now. And that comes from understanding that it's a thought, a feeling, and an emotion. And within that encapsulates the very essence of everything that you experience as a human being, interconnected in what we know as the oneness that is the universe, that is everything, that you are me, I am you. There is no question. And so that intuitive feeling that you get, just as Jade is talking about, connecting with the emotion, the event, the place, person, or thing, instantaneously, she's feeling it. That's how easy it is, ladies and gentlemen. And, this is something that she is more mastered in and crafted in. It's like her intention is able to tap into it immediately. And so do you. Mm-hmm. You too. It's that simple. Right here, right now. You have the ability to be all-knowing, all-powerful. You are the source to everything. There's a saying we always have in Taoism. The eternal flame that burns inside you, the very anchor to your truth and everything that is. Abundant, timeless, endless, limitless, infinite, the truth to everything. Your gratitude and appreciation for all that is the burning flame inside that is the Tao, that is the gateway to all-knowing, who you are and where you're going. And of course that is reflectant to everybody. Whether it's God, whether it's universe, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Jehovah, Allah, whoever. Mm-hmm. I got you. All is one, one is all. How you get there is your journey. How you arrive to that consciousness is for you and you only. And, just recently in the last podcast, I mentioned that about the truth. The truth is only what you believe in. Oh my goodness. Social media went on fire. And I think it's brilliant and amazing that everyone has their own perspective. But it's really hard when you have someone that is literally arguing a position about, it's not about feelings, it's about facts, yet what's motivating them to create a post is about the feeling that evoked within them due to the emotion of the thought that created the experience that they're having at that particular time. So the simulation of that debunks the whole essence of what they're talking about, because if they were talking about it from a facts perspective, there would be no emotional content or personality injected into the response to what I just said. Booyah.
Yeah. It's and I think what people kind of have to have, people like to have this like absolute, like, oh, you're a priest, or you're a man of faith, or you're, a enlightened individual. You can't make jokes, or that's your absolute. And it's like, you can still have a personality self. You can still have a little bit of attitude, or a little bit of
Well, it's whatever your flavor
joking. Exactly. Whatever your flavor is. And it doesn't have to be this absolute. I think it's just important to be able to identify that, like, okay, hey, I know I'm, feeding a little bit more of my emotions right now versus my higher self, but I'm also aware of that, and I can see it, and I can know when I'm in it or out of it, and I can also switch between the two very easily. And I think that's sometimes where people get this judgment or idea that, oh, a priest has to be a certain way, or a, person of faith has to be a certain way, a pastor, whoever. And it's like, that's again, that your perception, your truth.
Right. And the only truth is what you believe.
Exactly.
I'll always stand by that. And there is no right or wrong. Mm-hmm. So you understand that. You understand that the inner workings of the infrastructure of your construction of your reality is by perception, and it's designed by you. You are the master, the keeper, the creator of your reality. You are the one that is the director, the star, the producer, the scriptwriter of your movie. Mm-hmm. And that you create it. And so, speaking on what Jade is saying is understanding everything as thought, feeling, and emotion, creating that, encapsulating that, which evokes a rippling effect that we've spoken on, and that the deeper meaning and understanding of how you resonate as a human being, an eternal immortal having a human being experience, in essence, in this incarnation, reincarnation, wherever you are in your own level of consciousness, and accepting who you are, what you're experiencing, is creating this inner connection that words, that symbols, that numbers resonate with you for a reason, because it's integrated into your DNA. And this is leaning back on ancient scriptures, texts that go back thousands of years from any belief system, any faith. And that, to dismiss someone's belief system is to dismiss your own belief system. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in Taoism, a lot of faiths have their kind of like living scripture, where it's like, you go and look for those kind of always higher self answers, whether, you're speaking to God directly or in a confessional, whatever your belief mm-hmm. system has in place for it. And in Taoism, the Tao Te Ching, we always call it a living scripture, because it always changes. It's whatever you're looking for at that moment, what you're in need for, what message you need to hear. And you could read the same verse every single day for, a whole year, 365. And each day you'll get a different message, or hear a different word, mm-hmm. or have a different sentence resonate with you. Mm-hmm. And those words are so powerful that it's constantly shifting with you.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to understanding the model of the interconnection between you and the universe, and understanding how you're connected, and how, we give you the digital most contemporary offering of an ancient practice in mastering yourself using the Way 126 experience, which has all the inner trappings and workings that is reflected on numerology, on linguistics, and on the sacred symbols that resonate within you, that evoke a response that gives you the heightened level of consciousness to know that you are in the field, you are the field, that level of awareness, evoking the kinesthetic response, the supercharge that activates the brain waves that push you in the I am the transmitter state, where you have the ability to then put your wildest imagination, your dreams out into the field and create and manifest. And that signature, that signal, is that kinesthetic response, understanding that at a higher level, because the interconnection, everything. This is a simulator, guys. This body is your virtual reality simulator, and without it, you would be dead. Yes, your spirit will go to its next reincarnation. 1,000% understanding this. Understand this when you hear this when you know this to be true. All thoughts of your mind are not yours. Mic drop. One more time. All thoughts of your mind are not yours. Excuse me, Sifu. Well, whose are they if they're not mine? What are you talking about? Well, it comes down to this. It's really quite simple. This is a transmitter. In essence, your pineal gland, pituitary gland, thalamus, is what we call within Taoism as the three treasures. These are the basic magical instruments to create the imagery that is necessary for you to see, hear, and feel senses beyond the five that were given to you in your natural born life, generating this incredible, vivid, virtual reality, which is part of what is your field. That is the field that you are the field. It's a simulation. It's a hologram. And to understand that means that wherever your intention goes, you are creating in the field. You are the field. You are changing wave to matter, wave to particle, particle to wave, matter to wave. This is being transformed and transmuted by design from here. Everything is a rippling effect. So that electromagnetic field, recently, probably in the last couple of years, it's been quite clear and quite evident. The more research and understanding, peer-reviewed studies, I can't give them to you off the top of the head, but I'll make this very clear. They've used or assigned the realization through their own research. It's validated as so. Is human beings have the ability through their neural network to access information from the future. Whoa. Excuse me? That's psychic, Sifu. And psychics need to learn that skill. It's a refined skill. As you've taught us, anyone can do it. Thank you. Anyone can do it. But it's the big brain on Brad moment, where I want to thank you, Mr. Physicist, Mr. Science Man, that you have come to translate what we as Taoists have known for thousands of years to be true, and it resonates through our very ritual, our very practice, our very cultivation, that we know this. And we know the inner workings, the alchemy, the energy body, the integration of the energetic body within the physical body. We've had a complete understanding of this for thousands of years, and we integrate it. So the energetic body has an energetic anatomy, just like the physical body has a physical anatomy, and it's no different. We're able to correlate the inner workings and understanding of how the middle dantian syncs with the upper dantian, syncs with the lower dantian, or more commonly understand the heart syncs with the brain, syncs with the gut, and then we have the trio, which is the light, the information, and the energy. Booyah! Yeah, it's quite simple. That's it. So, all of a sudden, we have a physicist that has proclaimed to the world to understand that through their limited research at this point, because it's all forever going and understanding, and I really appreciate you validating everything I already know, and that knowing is not something that is an arrogance. No, the knowing is the knowing. You either know it or you know it. That's what did you say, Sifu? Well, the Jade Emperor has a very profound saying: if you have to learn it, you do not know it. If you know it, you do not have to learn it. Booyah! And that comes down to the knowing I'm talking about. And this is something that Jade and I resonate with over and over again, and we reiterate it. Know who you are, know where you're going. That's what we do by awakening what you already know within you, using the Taoist practices to create a level of consciousness that you've never seen before, so you can be in this three-dimensional reality but operate in a five-dimensional reality that transmutes what is coming from your transmitter generated by the commander-in-chief, and you are now being able to project it out into the field that is you. You are the field. So all you're doing is you're just changing the direction of the ship because you are the ship. And with that comes your manifestation, your healing, your magic. Whatever you want to conjure up becomes your reality instantly. No exceptions to the rule. The only reason something will not manifest any faster than that is you. Mm-hmm. The limitations of your consciousness is determined by you. Your limitations of your manifestation is determined by you. The limitations of your healing is determined by you. The limitations of your magic is determined by you and you only. That's why we always refer back to the truth is only what you believe, and that's the only truth you need to be concerned about. Because that's what affects change. The linguistics, the numerology, the symbols, the sacred linguistics, the sacred numerology. These are the inner workings of you from a DNA level, from a subatomic level within your very body that is the virtual reality simulator that you use to create this.
And I think that transcends just throughout humanity. Like every culture, no matter where you live, has colors. Every culture, no matter where you live, has some type of numbers. Maybe they're in a different language, but they have a numerology. They have colors. They have symbols. They have words. They might be in a different language, but they have a language.
Right.
And that transcends throughout time, throughout different continents, throughout different cultures. We're ingrained with that as human beings. Mm-hmm. That is such a part of just us. Mm-hmm. And I think it hasn't been really realized yet how much that affects us. The words, the numbers, the colors.
Well, they're starting to come to understand.
Right? It's starting to become.
Well, I mean, look, within our situation, Taoists, we've known that since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
You know.
It's starting to become more mainstream.
Right.
Even in corporate senses, we teach. What's the word for it? Where it's certain colors evoke a thing for marketing. Mm-hmm. It's blue, if you're a blue creates a calm and red creates a power. And, so they're starting even in way more mainstream. They're starting to kind of realize how those things affect us and how they can use it as tools. I don't think selling a product is as important as maybe healing an ailment, but still as a tool to affect the human body, the neurology, the nervous system, the whole thing.
I mean, that just falls back on everything we talk about, which is everything is a thought, feeling, and emotion. The essence to everything. I mean, and that's the thing. And always remember, guys, this is your truth, this is your reality, this is your experience, this is your simulation happening right here, right now to you. And whatever resonates with you is the truth. And, when you fall back and operate with the way 126, that is the simulator that gives you the green light that you are the field. That is the magic of what that experience has been created, is instantaneous, evoking a kinesthetic response, which is your register and realization you are the field. That means that it's go time. It's shoot it out there. Shoot it out there means all you have to do is create it in your mind and it becomes reality because guess what? You are the field. Mm-hmm. So whatever is in your mind manifests into your reality. And so that degree of difference from third to fourth to fifth dimension, an awareness of transmuting things in absence of time and space, there's, I'll explain it to you how I've experienced it over all these decades. So you have a realization that you come to through a cultivational practice that, of course, we integrate into the Way 126. We integrate it into all our teaching. We teach people how to be one with the neurology, be one with the energy, frequency, vibration. When you understand how to master that energy, you can move it anywhere at will. Using the integrated tools, the ancient Taoist tools of Nigong and Qigong, you can move that energy equally anywhere, in any direction, and many times. So it adds a whole new value to the word multitasking, because that would be seemingly impossible on a humanistic level of the simplicity of a neurologist telling you that's impossible, on the simplicity of a neurologist telling you that the brain doesn't operate like that.
Yeah.
Once you attach yourself to the energy, all bets are off, baby. Once you attach yourself to the realization you are the field, all bets are off. Shift and change. And so...
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I don't even think people realize, like, just the term, the elephant in the room, it's like, that's it right there. You either have, I mean, this is in the negative aspect of it, like a total sourpuss just sitting in the room, or, you know, a negative person, or I'm so nervous, I don't want to talk to you about this. And it's like, you're so focused on that, or thinking that it's like seeping out of you, like, you know, water through a sieve. It can't even contain itself. The energy is so, and you know, you get people saying, what's with the elephant in the room? You know, they're feeling it. They feel it.
Right. Well, that's the whole expression. Are you feeling all right? Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? You look angry because you're physically emoting by your expression, by your body language, and then of course you're amplifying that, so their interconnection with you on the electromagnetic field, and the fact that all energy is just pulsating and is a dynamic movement at all times. So imagine this is everything. If you shrink it down from a hologram model, and you shrink this down to a subatomic level, you will still see the same thing under a microscope. That's you. That's everything. That's the field. That's the energy, frequency, vibration. That's what it's doing. So when you're transmitting in this movie maker, this virtual reality that's evoked by a thought, a feeling, and emotion, you are transmitting that into this. And then, of course, it's a rippling effect, and it affects everything around you at a DNA level. And so when you're slipping into that fourth, fifth dimension, there's a level of consciousness. First and foremost, my clear senses were heightened. Sensory perception was at the highest level. You wake up one day and everything is like a computer screen where you can see all the icons. And in essence, you can look and see the auras, and the information is everywhere. At first, it is quite overwhelming. And that is just because you're not familiar with it. And then you start to master the understanding of the operating system, and you just look for information or request it at will, how you want to decipher or digest the information that is in front of you, because this is no longer anecdotal or some type of like a motivational speech that I'm giving you right now just to validate all the naysayers. This is just peer-reviewed facts, boys and girls. The information is there. Light, information, energy, frequency, vibration. It is everywhere. It's doing this all day long. So once you come to that realization that you are the field, that you are universe, all is one, one is all, just as Jade Emperor would say, when you accept you know nothing, you know everything. Oh. Yeah. And so that shift, first and foremost, you see everything. You see the energies of everything. You can look at people's auras, and as you amplify your own understanding, you can access it all. Their mental, emotional state, their physical, what you want to see or hear will be given to you immediately. Oh, yeah. And so that's the first realization that I experienced. Then was the transmutation in real time, within a three-dimensional reality, you slip into it. It's like it shifts in your mind. It's to explain it to somebody is like there's this tremendous amount of energy in my upper dantian, your brain, whatever you want to call it, the pineal gland, and it magnifies to a boulder-like state where it's literally like its own entity in my brain, and it moves and ripples and has an effect. Now, that defies any baseline big brain on Brad neurologist that will say, impossible, you do not feel your third eye, there is no neural network that would be able to register that. It's not innovated that way. There is no sympathetic wiring for you to be able to acquire a response that would let you feel that. I'm sorry. But if you understand the quantum model and you understand it in great detail and you understand energy, that everything is energy, once you train that, once you master that, you are all-knowing. You are all being. You have the access to it, so you can feel anything. You can see anything. You can create anything if you choose to. So, sorry. And so you feel this incredible, this weight. So you're using your mind, you're seeing the visual, and as you shift and change it, like the easiest way to do it is like if I'm looking at some transformation, just a run-of-the-mill average one, right? Like, so if you have, like, I had my mother in the car the other day, for example, and we got some coffee. We're driving away from the drive-through, and she spilt this boiling hot coffee on her hand, literally like equivalent to third-degree burns. It's not some Hollywood experience when you want to transmute that experience and erase it from the field. This is how it happens, guys. Step by step, I'm going to give you the rundown. She burns her hand, pours coffee over her. She's screaming. She's erratic. She's out of her body. She's emotional. She's suggestible. She's offline. She's 3 cents short of $1. Let's put it that way. My experience to tap to be the field is I'm first person, third person, no person. Instantaneously, all it is me commanding for it to be removed. I can speak it or I can say it in my mind. It has the same effect. Remove the energy, remove the energy, remove the energy. It is instantaneous. And as you're watching it, as she was watching it, as it was being dispersed and withdrawn from the energetic makeup of what that was doing to her physical flesh at that particular moment, in that field representation of matter that had been altered from wave, which was being returned to wave, which is what I was doing, was using my intention to create the transmutation of that energy withdrawing from her physical flesh. And within 30 seconds, it went from, I need to go to the hospital, I've got third-degree burns, to I can't even feel a thing, let me enjoy my coffee and get on with my day. It happens that quickly. And you will physically see it. And the other really interesting part is it moves before your very eyes in a wiggling sort of like fashion. It will sort of oscillate, just like we talk about the energy oscillating. You will see the physical tissue oscillate before your very eyes as it transmutes back to its original form before it was interrupted with that last interruption of the field, how you say. And you'll see it. Oh, Sifu, you're full of it, blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is the transformation with my eyes open. I'm operating with my eyes open, not my eyes closed. I'm not sitting there going, hang on a second, Mom. I need to get into the lotus position. I need to call on my guardians and angels. I need to get into the frequency of the field. I need to attune myself to create a manifestation, a healing that will affect change right here, right now. When you are the field. When you accept that consciousness, just as the Jade Emperor says, you are, when you accept you know nothing, you know everything. It happens instantaneously. Now, I've been doing this 30 years. Does that mean much? It means that I've had the ability and time to cultivate this level of consciousness. Does that mean that I can share and impart with you the skills that are necessary to do exactly the same thing I do, and you could get it like this? 1,000%. You could erase the 30 years that it's taken me to get to this heightened level of consciousness to transmute this stuff in seconds. Why? Because you have the neurology. It's what we call motor neurons, guys. And that interconnection that you have with me, because I have shared this experience with you, it now becomes real to you, because that's the validator. That's all it takes to affect change for you right here, right now, my friends, is hearing that story, having me explain it. It now is validated with you. That kinesthetic charge that you receive, that shiver, the one that Jay just experienced, is a validator right here. That's your the field, baby. I'm the field. And guess what? That's your green light. And even with that, from a neurology perspective, understanding those sensory neurons is basically your interconnection with your heart and your brain. And the motor neurons in your brain is what makes everything basically replicable. You can repeat it instantly. I've intuned it into your neurology as I'm speaking. It is now true to you. Now you can go, oh, that's rubbish, that's not true. It's already in your neurology. It's happened. The old expression, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. That's it. It's now in your neurology. It's implanted in your DNA. It's now a part of you. That means you are one badass mofo. You can do it right here, right now. You can do it. That's all it takes. Now, there is a progression for some people to heighten senses of consciousness. It may take a bit longer. But, you know, there's this incredible feeling that comes to the same thing with when you're transmuting a healing in the physical body. I could take an object like something of metal, and you feel it when you have it between your hands. There's a shift from third to fourth to fifth to transformation, where you're witnessing this wiggling effect that I was talking about before. It's an open eye experience where it looks like it's morphing. If you've ever seen the Terminator 2, you'll understand what I'm saying. That liquid man. And it morphs and wiggles and changes shape. And on a cellular level, that's how it transmutes. It transmutes this way. Years and years, decades ago, when I first started doing this stuff, you know, you'd come across someone that may have an absence, sort of like cyst or something of that nature, and I'd just shoot the juice into it, returning it back to matter, and it will explode like a frickin' firecracker on 4th of July. And I'd be like, what? Well, I wouldn't be ready for it. I'd be like, oh, that was not cool. I know. It brings back fond memories. What can I say? But it would happen real time. You would watch the tissue change and then evolve and return back to its original state. But you are shifting that matter with your attention, intention, altering it into a wave, returning it from where it came. The interruption is being basically equalized. And so that's that transmutation experience, that oscillating experience, and you see it before your very eyes. It's like nothing you've ever seen. Like I said, once you've seen it, you cannot unsee it. And that's the part that we want to reiterate, because you now have the neurological programming and networking from listening to this story to go out and do it yourself right here, right now. You have the ability. Mm-hmm. That's the powerful part about this. And this is all based in a validation of, quantum physics. And you are now just experiencing it real time. I'm very excited that the physicists are validating what we have known for thousands of years as Taoists.
It's just like the 4-minute mile.
Exactly. That's exactly. Doesn't get any easier than that.
Yeah. Or even like in the medical field, there'll be like a specialist or a neurologist or something like that'll do a surgery. Mm-hmm. And it'll be successful. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, throughout the world, you'll hear of 20 other ones who all tried the surgery and it was successful. And it was like, and until that point, there was this kind of.
I mean, it's a rippling effect. It goes back to the quantum physics model. It goes back to the epigenetic model. Your thoughts change your reality. You are a product of your environment. You can switch on and off your gene expression with your thoughts alone. That is epic in of itself, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that you ever been to a dance party, you ever been to a prom, ever been to a nightclub, it's quite simple. The energy, frequency, of vibration is infectious. And the second you get into a space where other people are emoting and expressing this supercharge that you're experiencing, you can feel it. And you start replicating, well, I've never seen someone cut a rug like that. I'm going to do it right. I mean, it's like the music's have you ever heard that expression? The music is taking over my body. I don't know what's going on because it's your neurology, guys. It's the fractionated, integrated impression that is going into your DNA that is rocking you from a subatomic level all the way out. This is why you operate the way you do. Your mirror neurons are replicating everything around you. That's how it works. Booyah.
Yeah. Or that's like when someone breaks like a world record.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, the next year someone breaks it. And
Yep.
the next year someone breaks it. And the next year.
And they shift their
Yeah.
consciousness. They're operating in that fifth dimension, that fourth dimension. And everyone else goes, if you can do it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. 1,000%. You don't have to wait 30 years being a Sifu and a Taoist master and all the things that I have embodied to get to my point of consciousness right now. You can entrain yourself, or you already have been, because your mirror neurons are now resonating with everything that I have said within this whole podcast, and it's now yours. It's yours for the taking. It's yours for the realization of it being fact, of it being so, that your consciousness has raised to another level. You are now able to create something that perhaps 30 minutes ago would not have been possible within your consciousness, but it is now embedded in your neurology, so it is yours for the taking. Dust it off, realize it, expand it, embody it, and create action. It's yours. You are all-powerful, all-knowing. You are everything. All is one, one is all. There's a very powerful incantation. I'm going to give it to you now because it just is what it is. And this is right from Highest Purity, one of our teachers. It's quite simple. And if whoever's watching this and they want to embody this and completely ripple, because it's once it hits your eardrums, it hits your vagus nerve, it hits your neurology, it seeps right down to a subatomic level into your very DNA. It's all powerful. That's what an incantation is. You might call it an affirmation. You're going to hear this, and you're going to hear this right now. A power abundant in its giving you will receive. Unifying the body with the spirit with the energy. Bringing heaven to earth, transcending all is one, one is all, creating perfection manifest. That is your gift, that is your offering. That is your gift, that is your offering. That is your gift, that is your offering. Be with it. Stay with it. Realize it. That is your truth. Oh yeah. As highest purity transmitted that through me right here, right now. The magnitude and power of that is beyond words, as anyone who is witnessing this, experiencing this at this very second. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. affecting change, rippling effect from a DNA level, from a subatomic level. It is now yours for the taking. Your realization, your level of consciousness will be leveled up, and you will create something equal to or greater than that will transmute what is your reality, what is your mind, is the field that transmutes wave into matter, into this 3D reality. That is the truth, that is the reality. Right here, right now, it is yours.
That's one you definitely want to rewind.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I can't even move. I feel like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. So much energy in here, and once you evoke the consciousness to the level that you can see it as I am witnessing it right now, you will be in awe and magic. You are already sensing it. You are the tuning fork of your reality. You are the virtual reality simulator. This is it. Oh my goodness. Whew. So we're talking about numerology. We're talking about linguistics. We're talking about the symbols, sacred words, sacred numbers. This is everything that's integrated into your DNA. That is your reality right here, right now. So we talk about the hand seals, the famous hand seals that are Taoists. One of the first ones is quite simple. Take your thumb and your index finger. Take your other thumb.
You mean your middle finger?
Middle finger. Take your other thumb and you place it into your hand, and then wrap your fingers around it, wrap your hand down. No.
Oh, I'm using the other one.
Right. No, other way. Watch. Dyslexia, maybe. A reprogramming, perhaps. And you bring it down like this. And if you hold that hand seal there for a minute, you can feel that energy surging right up into your heart, because that is what we offer. Mm-hmm. That's how we greet anybody as Taoists. We greet them with this hand seal. And we're connecting our heart with yours as it is admitted and rippling and evoking and transmuting change instantaneously. I offer my heart to you because that is who I am. I am singular. I am whole. I am one. I am all-knowing. I am the truth to everything, because the truth to everything is me, and I am it. All is one. One is all. Booyah. And so, in this particular moment leading to the last couple of weeks, there's been some very famous people in the news. I don't know, this guy, Andrew Tate, and everyone. If I had $1 for every time someone goes, Sifu, what is that hand seal that Andrew Tate is using? What is it? What is it? Look, Taoists use this very architecture. And, most Eastern systems will use the architecture of either your ear or your hand or your foot, and some people call it reflexology, understanding that the operation of your whole body is in your hand. As you understand that all is one, one is all, as you understand that you are the field is you, this is quite simple. And so we use the inner workings of the three dantians: middle dantian, upper dantian, and lower dantian. Middle upper dantian, higher dantian, upper dantian, lower dantian. Upper dantian, middle dantian, lower dantian. And so when you are operating with that, using those three dantians interconnected to the energy, information, light. Energy, information, light. Sun, earth, moon. Moon, earth, sun. This is why we talk about coherence, guys. The idea that you are coherent. When you synchronize your heart, you synchronize those, those sensory neurons, and they are connected with the neurons within your brain, the same neural network as your brain. As you have a little brain in your heart, you create the synchronicity, the coherence that is the connection with the universe. You connect the heart with the brain with the gut with the earth. You are resonating at the same frequency as the earth. All is one, one is all. That is reflectant of the 111, and it ripples out into all types of numerology, all types of linguistics, all types of symbology.
Sounds Sounds all right.
It sounds all right. That you understand that that's the message. And you're hearing it right here, right now. You are syncing yourself with the earth and the universe. In essence, you are one with everything. So the hand seal, the infamous Andrew Tate hand seal. What is it? He does this type of thing. Pistola. Yeah. We use seals, hand seals like the sword fingers, which we call sword fingers. There are literally hundreds of different hand seals that we use. But every time you change that finger position in the creases in your hands, in the fingers, thumb to finger expression, thumb to pad expression, you are changing the direction of the energy, and in turn, whatever the integrated architecture of whatever it is that you're transmuting, that's altering wave to matter with the field that is you, is your realization. And so you're redirecting energy in a certain way. Magic is just a construct, a deeper construct of your manifestation. Can it happen instantly? 1,000%. Think it and it is yours. Think it and it is done.
Yeah, you always talk about like the body as being like a flute.
Mm-hmm.
So if you imagine like playing a flute, and if you put your finger over a certain hole, you get a different note, or you get a different melody. And
Sure.
Hand seals can be used in the same way, where you're doing a certain hand seal and you're getting a different flow or note through your body to create whatever you want.
Right. So it's like working on the in more traditional Chinese medicine, which is an Eastern method, a system, which generally speaking, there are 4 pillars to Chinese medicine. There's herbology, there's massage, there's herbology, massage, qigong, and then the fourth one, acupuncture. Yeah. The most powerful, hands down, always will win regardless, is qigong. It's the energy, baby. Mm-hmm. Always. And if you alter things at a spiritual level, you don't need to waste your time with this infantile physical manifestation stuff. Your interruption is irrelevant. The emotional content is relevant. What you want to do to transmute that is instantaneously. When you are first person, third person, no person. And so, you use that numerology, using the hand seals, you're adjusting basically what we call the meridians within the body, which are energy channels throughout the body. You're adjusting those which are transmitting your desire from your projector to the field that is you, meaning that the second it hits your brain, it becomes real and manifests into a matter particle experience from wave, a damn straight. And that's solidified. Booyah! Goes to a whole nother level, guys. Mm-hmm. And you see the transformation, transmutation. You see it, I see it. But I also feel it. Because we're all interconnected. And it's not like it's some hidden secret thing that only one person can acquire. If you have this simulator, you have the ability to. You just need a system, a way to, a method that will elevate your sensory perception of your electromagnetic field. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So getting back, like, I know everyone's like, well, tell us why. Why does he do...
Right.
What is that?
This particular connection is sort of separating his heart from anything and everything around him, basically protecting himself from anything admitting into his field that he does not accept to be true. Now, does that work if you're at a higher level, understanding that all is one, one is all? The truth is only what you believe. I always reiterate this over and over and over again, understanding that the seed of your reality starts with your truth. And if you believe you come from a place of fear, fear will find you. If you want to manifest, you do not come from a place of fear. The emotion is the disturbance that creates the irregularity or the misalignment of you and the field. So this is absolutely in a position of fear to connect himself with his heart, protect his heart, and ultimately his connection with God. That's what's going on here.
Like a little
there's a
force field.
protection, and then there's a complete oneness with his heart and God itself that he has aligned with. So it's how he's sort of like for the world to see how he is basically showing himself. Now, from a real manipulator body language perspective, or what you would call the art of persuasion, you have a very simplistic understanding of this sort of hand seal, which basically is a representation of a rippling effect within your neurology, and most hypnotists or body language experts manipulate others by using this because it is a symbol of authority. So you will see most body language experts or hypnotists or NLP guys or whatever, they'll do this. Or they'll do this. They'll do this. But mostly they do this because when they do this, this represents the authority. And people don't realize it's imprinted into their DNA. They've already assigned it as to be so. You don't have to say anything. It's the same thing as the white lab coat rippling effect. You are acknowledging, already submitting to authority by recognizing this person with a white lab coat as being someone superior to you. It's in your neurology.
And every time you change it, it's like I feel something different.
Oh, it's completely different.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, his is in a place of protection. It's not an authoritarian thing initially. I mean, I'm sure at one point he came up with the idea, hey, let me read some body language, neuro-linguistic programming, blah, blah, blah. Let me try this out, see what I could do to appease the masses. But I mean, from anyone that's like authoritarian, that thinks they know more than anyone else, remember, right from the Jade Emperor, you are the student, the student is you. I am the student, you are the teacher. You are the teacher, I am the student. I am the teacher, you are the student. Quite simple. So understand this authoritarian thing. So you see a lot of if you see a lot of these movers or shakers, most of the people in social media right now, at some way, shape or form, all the big talking heads on podcasts, when you look at them, they're doing this. They've had their crash course in NLP. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's called neuro-linguistic programming. It was created back in the 70s by a couple of psychiatrists, a therapist, and a hypnotist, just basically working on the integration of what we already know and have for thousands of years, which is the words, the numbers, the symbols are affectant on a neurological level, on a cellular level, on a subatomic level. So they came to that realization. They created this thing called neuro-linguistic programming. Most people call it a manipulation. I call it a wannabe sort of system. Hey, look, whatever you need to make yourself feel better, most people gravitate to this type of system because they want to manipulate people. Okay. I mean, some of the most failed politicians on the face of the earth have been students to this type of system, which then leans more towards the sadness that is the realization that, you have someone who is from a speaking position of authority and they use it to manipulate your mind. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Oops. So no. Andrew Tate's position is for protection, to keep him at one with God. And, you start moving this around, generally speaking, it would be a symbol of authority. And any manipulator within social media will use that. You'll see them sitting there like this, which basically just have you submit on a neurological level, that they know more than you. And you don't even realize it's happening. Oops, sorry, I let it out, guys. And so you don't have to protect yourself from it. You're now aware. Guess what? The whole mirror neuron thing is working big time on you. So it's implanted into your DNA now. Now you have an awareness. You're shifting it from an unconscious to conscious process. Booyah! It's being created for you right here, right now. If you see it, you can't unsee it. Heard that expression before. That's the truth. That's what happens with your neurology, ladies and gentlemen. And that affects the field. That is you instantly.
Yeah, and everything is just a tool. All of the neurology, the linguistics, the symbols, when you learn how to use it and use it the right way, or use it for what's necessary for you, your toolbox just, explodes.
1,000%. And so that's that hand seal. I mean, we have hundreds of hand seals, and they all have a different purpose, a different rippling effect within this conscious moment. And you want to shift your consciousness. The higher your consciousness, the higher your ability to transmute within this three-dimensional reality by being absent of that, not buying into the rhetoric, buying into the psychosis that is this three-dimensional reality. When you operate outside of that, just as Jade Purity would say, when you believe you are not of this body, what can harm you? Mic drop. Take that one digested. I used that a couple of days ago in a podcast, and I think the guy was like, computer says no. And that's okay. I mean, that seed is already there. The old expression, once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's there. It's starting. It's brewing. It's growing. It's creating. And eventually that person will reach that level of consciousness. There is no too soon or too late model when it comes to consciousness, when it comes to evolution, when it comes to realization. You just start when you start, and you expand when you expand. It's quite simple. There is no race, ladies and gentlemen. It's your pace, your story, your race, your job, your realization, your truth, right here, right now, and it's for you.
I think that's that. Just getting ready to be a mom again. You kind of you take your parents a little bit for granted just as a kid or growing up, and then if you ever get the opportunity to have kids, all of a sudden your consciousness on how your parents either were or that thing totally shifts and changes.
Right.
And it's like you can't fully understand that until
you're there.
You have that moment where you're a dad.
Well, you remember that expression. It's like my mother would, repeat it over and over. Wait till you have kids, then you'll know what it's like to be me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Again, a perception of reality, and her experience is completely different to mine. Always remember that it's your truth, your reality, your realization, no one else's. And that brings forth the understanding of the magnitude and magic of the Way 126 experience, and that we are basically giving you the green light for your aha moment, realization you are the field. That's what it does. The integration, the transitions that lead you up to the experience, the priming, all the things that take place within the magic of that has all got to do with the visual and audible experience, creating the kinesthetic response that is the Death moment that says, booyah, you are the field. It's manifestation time. It's go time. Anything in your mind becomes your reality. You are creating it right here, right now, transmuting wave to matter right here, right now. And this is all that it takes. And that's why the simplicity and power of the Way 126 is that it is a visual and audible experience that evokes the kinesthetic response, that is the validator that it is true, that it is you are experiencing it right here, right now. Is unique to you. No two experiences are the same. You will never experience the same experience because it works with your unconscious, moving and morphing the bridge between conscious and unconscious process, realizing that you are everything. You are the source to everything. And that realization shifts you into a fourth, fifth dimensional reality where you can transmute things real time to whatever you want, however you want, whenever you want. Booyah! exciting.
It is exciting.
So those hand seals, we layered on that. We layered on the understanding of the rippling effect of the consciousness, and then leaning a little bit on the latest physicist discovery that the human being is basically, I think they use this analogy. Imagine the human being as a stick in a river, and the river is passing them by, which is the field. And that whatever you transmute into your thoughts, or here is the transmitter. So the field is moving past you, the stick, and you're able to move in and out. And they say randomly, and it's not random. You can go forward or backwards at any point in time, but they're acknowledging something that we've known to be true in relation to understanding how to have your third eye experience, or understanding how to have astral plane traveling, or understanding how to do a future life reading or a past life reading is self-evident when it comes to this peer-reviewed information. They're basically proclaiming to be so, that through their research and understanding, that it has now been validated by the scientific community, peer-reviewed studies, that it is so that human beings have the ability to randomly see the future or the past, depending upon where they are within their sensory perception and understanding of the quantum field that is you, the universe. All is one, one is all. You are it. You are able to capture those packets of information that I talk about, energy, frequency, vibration, and it's all there in the field. It's oscillating like this. It's happening real time. It's dynamic. It's moving around. Now, they're saying randomly you may be able to see the future or the past, and it hasn't been conclusive that you can specifically do it through a sense of training. Hello, i.e., use Taoism. We've got it hands down. We've trained the systems. We've got them going on, handed down from generation to generation for thousands of years, and we have it right here, right now, within a contemporary offering of an ancient practice, the Way 126 experience, simulating your green light for you are the field, you are the universe, all is one, one is all, and you're getting a visual, audible experience, creating a kinesthetic response that is the validator, that is the truth to your reality, giving you the ability to take what's in your mind and transmute it into your third or 3D experience. So now they've validated it. The supercharge is the validator. They've validated. They've told us that, guess what? Human beings now have the ability. We have made it so that you can actually randomly using this analogy, this model where the stick in the river, and the river is the stream of information that is the quantum, and you're randomly picking up packets of information that may be something from the future or the past, because it's moving past you, so you may catch something from the behind you or in front of you. But guess what? If you are the field, the past and the future and the present is all one. Whoa. Let me tell you, thank you, Big Brain on Brad. I am grateful to validate what I already know is true. And that knowing is the power that you have within you. And that is what Jade and I want to basically hand you, another validation of how powerful and all-powerful you are as an individual, as a collective. That's what we teach here, is having people have their own realization of the consciousness of who they are and what they have access to, which is everything. It's all within you.
It is. It's, again, I think when we really start to realize how powerful this tool is, being our neurology, our body, our connection to the universe, that's when, anything is possible.
Anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, understanding that whole rippling effect that you are the field, transmitting an electromagnetic field, these are all just sort of like moments. These are shots. Your consciousness, your realization is you alter it. Everywhere your eyes go, you alter the field. You're taking wave and turning it into particle matter. That's what you're doing with your eyes, with your mind. The simulation is this, because there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like when you play like a video game, like a first person, like a shooting game, and you're like, I know there's someone behind that wall, and you go behind the wall, and it's like, oh,
And that's that intuitive
Yep.
Synergy that comes with the motor neuron effect, and understanding what might be more on a psychologist perspective, the psychodynamic loop, the interconnection that you have with everyone around you, these mirror neurons. But if you take it and lean it on the quantum physics model and understanding that everything is oscillating and you're all interconnected, all is one, one is all, that, you have moments that are dramatic, and you have this sixth sense, this signal that comes within. And when you're aligned with the earth and the universe that is you, all is one, one is all, and you're oscillating at this 0.1 hertz frequency, you will get access to everything. And so massive events, things of that nature, you can reflect on certain massive tragedies of past in our history. Some people that will have circumvented being involved in that particular historical event will speak on the fact they had a sixth sense, an understanding, a gut feeling that told them not to do that, not to go there, not to be that, not to be with that person. And of course, it's materialized into this incredible epiphany and realization that they just basically circumvented being a part of something in history that was a tragedy, due to their gut feeling that came from their heart and brain coherence that is synchronized with the universe, that then goes into the model where you are the stick in the field and it's passing by you, so you're able to see in the past or the future due to the fact that everything is information and it's oscillating like this, bam, 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 and you get a glimpse, you get a feeling, and booyah, you're making decisions that have saved your life or taken you to a different trajectory for your future instantly, and you get that big star. I'm psychic of the month.
No, but that's the power we talk about, of being able to get your own information, being able to get your own source of information and have it channel through you in however you interpret it, however you hear
Whatever
it,
you want.
whatever you see. It's getting it individually, not someone else giving it to you.
Right.
And that in itself is such a powerful thing that we want to share with everyone and want everyone to have.
Right. And people can ask me, hey, Sifu, where, how long, when did you do this? What's your realization? Well, if I was to be realized, I've been doing this my whole incarnation, my reincarnation, what I'm doing right now. I've done it in I've only rewind about 36 lives from the one I've had right now, and I go into detail of all of them individually. I've either been a Catholic priest, a Buddhist monk, whatever. I've experienced them all. Collectively, I've had 12 different lives, one consecutively after another, that have been basically a Taoist masters of different lineages at different times in history over the last couple of thousand years, and that's the last 36 lives. And that is reflected on the whole model of understanding that's just a realization within the physics community that's accepted that, guess what, this information is in the field, it's going behind in front of you, and if you're the stick in the river, you may catch something in the future or your past randomly. Well, it's not random, you train it. That's why we train it. That's why we're Taoists. We train in these systems so that we can capture what we want, when we want, how we want, right here, right now, using these ancient systems, using the energy and transmuting it in any direction we want at will, using Nigong Qigong, 11 herbs and spices that are proprietary to Taoist practices that are in secret but still evoke the kinesthetic response within the simulation of the 126 experience.
And I think that goes back to what you keep reiterating. If you know it, you don't have to learn it.
100.
Like the second you tapped into this, it was like, yeah, this is me 36 different times.
Right.
Whether it's, oh my goodness, I picked up a guitar and all of a sudden I turned into Slash.
What do you think? Come on.
Or I picked up a basketball and all of a sudden I turned into,
these prodigies that we speak of throughout our natural born life. There's an example. Let's be honest. Wayne Newton, one of my favorite all-time entertainers. I must have seen this guy dozens of times. That guy can play 100 different instruments.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know how to read music. Explain it to me.
Yeah.
Explain it to me. No one's taught him how to sing. No one's taught him how to play instruments of any kind. He just picks one up and goes, oh, this is natural. Ba, 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 ba. And if you watch this guy is electric, magnetic. He is infectious in every sense of the word. You watch him just integrate into everyone at a cellular level, and they're just all in awe of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's an example of exactly what Jade has been talking about. What I reiterate, if you have to learn it, you don't know. If you know it, you don't have to learn it. It just is. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Michael Jackson, Prince, George Michael, David Bowie. These people are just incredible. And my heart aches for the fact that they're not presently here in the physical. We can speak to them directly in the metaphysical, in the spiritual realm. I get excited when I do that, but this is not what it's about. It's all is one, one is all. If you have to learn it, you do not know it. If you know it, you don't have to learn it. It's instantaneous, guys.
Yeah. And I think everyone has that person where it's like, man, how come it's so easy for you?
Right.
Anything you do, like, you know, any sport you play, you're just so good at it, or you're a natural. I mean, that in itself.
This is the other thing. Our first published book, The Ancient Practice of Synchronicity, will be momentarily released for everyone to get their hot little hands on it. And this gives you the inner workings and understanding of how to manifest, how to create and change in this 3D reality. Synchronizing yourself with the universe, making it that you are all is one, one is all. Booyah. Creating from your mind into your 3D reality. So, you can pick it up, you can read it, you can apply it to the Way 126, because then you're going to have a much better understanding of how this magic works, because we use ancient words, ancient numbers, ancient symbols, sacred words, sacred numbers, sacred symbols that are integrated into the experience that evoke the kinesthetic response and give you a visual, audible experience, kinesthetic response, the signal, the green light that says you are the field, manifest, create whatever's in your mind, turn it into your reality. Booyah. And, you know, people have needed this. It's necessary. We're about to release more information on how, in great detail, for all those Way 126s out there, how the integration of this operation, this system, this transitional primer that's necessary for the experience that makes it so heightened, increasing your sensory perception to the highest level possible. So you are aware of your electric and magnetic field like this. That's what Taoists are known for. Their powerhouse is their connection with the energy and the understanding of the synchronicity of the universe that is them. They are the university. The universe is them. Yeah.
I was going to say, we could probably go on for
another we could.
10 hours.
We could. So, I mean, in basic review of what we've done today, we've talked about hand seals, generally how they work, how they're integrated into your physical neurology, your DNA at a cellular level. That's why they're so powerful. That's why words are so powerful. They're integrated into your DNA. That's why symbols are so powerful. They're integrated into your DNA. That's why numbers are so powerful. They're integrated into your DNA. What's the fastest fast track? The portal directly to that is sound. Yeah, that's why it's so powerful to you. That's why it motivates you. It magnetizes you or repels you, depends on what the frequencies are, what the notes are, what's the sounds, what they evoke within you, what thought, feeling, and emotion is created from this experience. And that's why. And so we did the hand seals. We got an understanding that, you know, there's a lot of manipulators out there. This guy doesn't seem to be one of them. He's using it for his own protection, not necessary, because if he understands that he is God and God is him, then it's all good. But, you know, we're on a process of awareness, of consciousness. And at whatever time when he comes to that realization, it will be. and understanding the electromagnetic field, understanding how you are integrated into that, understanding how that synchronization is necessary for you to manifest, to create, to affect change in this 3D reality. And then ultimately going over the ancient practice of synchronicity, which is a step-by-step understanding of the mechanisms that are necessary for you to get there, for you to just be aware you are the field. And we make it real simple because that feeling is it. Use the neurology as the virtual reality of your body to give you that register. Once you get that register, you're done, guys. Here, 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 here. That's it. Supercharge.
Primal.
Primal. So with that said, I think we went over everything we wanted to today. Mm-hmm. We got a really pretty decent understanding about some of these new discoveries recently over the last couple of years, and understanding about packets of information, understanding about how within the quantum model everything is oscillating. It's just constantly vibrating. It's dynamic. It's never stagnant. Mm-mm. And then everything is interconnected, so the information is right there. The second you realize you are the field is you, there is no separation. You have access to everything. Just as the Jade Emperor would say, when you accept you know nothing, you know everything. And with that, I want to thank my divine, incredible host, co-host, High Priestess Jade. Unless you have something else you want to say.
No, I mean, I think we've gone over a lot of stuff, and I think, like I said, there are certain parts where you probably do want to rewind and
that incantation is something else. That's got some rippling. That's lineage stuff. That's some ancient lineage stuff that was handed down by. It was spelt out by highest purity. It was handed down by Lao-Tzu, by supreme purity. It's some magical stuff, guys. You use that and watch your world rock. Use that once a day. Use it twice a day. I don't even disclosure. It's out of my hands what you do with that stuff. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
Yes, this is true.
So with that said, I want to thank Jade.
Thank
what
you.
An incredible podcast today.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
It's been a lot of fun, crazy stuff. Because we're never ending when it comes to information. We're abundant, timeless, endless, limitless, infinite. The truth to everything is right here, right now. We have it. We have access to it. The Taoist lineage stuff is on and on and on. You're going to keep getting the hits day in, day out, bang, 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 of information, of understanding, of rituals, of cultivation, of the practice of Taoism right here, right now. Brought to you by the Tao, the three pure ones. And so thank you, Jade.
Yeah, no, it's
awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to be us.
I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting in it.
Right. With that said, I'm your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master Sun Quinn, and we'll see you on the next one, guys.